Hi, my name is Patrick Hine, and I'm the Education Manager for the QSC Global Education Department, and it is my privilege to take you through these materials. We've taken much of what we've learned from our other campaign launches, and we've polled several internal staff members, and I personally spent a lot of time talking with reps about how we could make these materials better for you. And before I continue, I want to personally thank, in particular, JC Bittens from TechRep and Jason Dreyer from SK Mac. You guys took the time to really talk to me about how to improve these materials, and I think you'll see that nearly every suggestion that you made is incorporated into the presentation material, so thank you for that. Rather than emailing you a bunch of links, we've created a home for all of this Q-Sys Unleashed material on qscrep.com. And we put the material in very methodical buckets with instructions on how to tie all of this material together. Now, first and foremost, you're going to see a lot of choices. This is done by design. We recognize that everyone learns differently, everyone presents differently, and everyone's going to have different needs and preferences. I will say that by no means do we expect everyone to use everything on this website. In the end, we expect that you guys will test drive out these different solutions and decide for yourself which one is right for you and your customer. So let's go ahead and go through each bucket one by one. The first bucket is the introduction. This section is pretty simple. This is where we're going to put all of the webinar captures, the ones that you're seeing right now. We are recording this entire webinar and posting it here, so if you miss anything, you have a place to go to remind yourself.
Hi everyone, this is Joe Pham.
Next, we're going to go over how to present Q-Sys. Now, this is where you're going to find the brand new Q-Sys presentation. This is where the fun part begins, because based on your feedback, we have created several different formats of the same content. So it's going to be your job to decide which one you like the best and use in your presentations. So let's start off by choosing your device and format. Now, before, all of our material was in Prezi, and we kind of took note, and we're offering a second option. Now, each of these has its pros and its cons. So let's open up one of the presentations so I can give you a preview of the presentation. And along the way, I'll point out some of the differences between Prezi and Keynote, so you can make an educated choice. The first thing you'll notice about Prezi is that it's got a very dynamic zoom transition. That's kind of its signature. It also handles graphics and multimedia better than any tool that I know. Now, Keynote, on the other hand, is much more traditional. It's much more like PowerPoint. However, it does handle graphics very well. It makes for simple navigation, and it plays HD video perfectly. Let's take a look at one of the most popular components. Now, the great thing about Prezi and Keynote versions is that they are both governed by a very detailed menu system. It's going to allow you to skip to any part of the presentation at any time. This means that you can customize your presentation on the fly without having to make a brand new presentation every time. Let me show you how this works. And actually, this brings me to my second major difference between Prezi and Keynote, advancing the slide. Now, Keynote is very simple. You just use these buttons with a single click to advance the slides. Pretty easy, right? Now, Prezi, on the other hand, it's a little trickier. If you're just going to progress through the path, you just use the forward and backwards arrow on your keyboard, or you use the right and the left side of the iPad or iPhone. Now, if you want to use a menu button on the PC, you just have to click it and then hit the forward arrow button to advance the section. So it's a click and then forward. Now, on the mobile device, it's actually a double tap. So you will double tap the menu icon and then hit the forward button to advance to the next slide. Prezi does take a little practice to get used to, but once you have it, it's really a great tool, so give it a try. Next up is the video content. We've embedded lots of videos throughout the presentation that you can show your clients. For example, we've provided you a great way to start off with a very fun introductory video narrated by our own CEO, Joe Pham, that talks about how Q-Sys is both powerful and simple.
This is Q-Sys.
We also have short feature videos that demonstrate specific functions of Q-Sys, which can really come in handy, especially if you're demonstrating this in front of a client and you don't have a core handy. This is a great way to simulate that experience. We also have great vignettes that talk about our manufacturing process, our system design assistants, and our technical service group, all narrated by key players of the QSC organization. And here comes the third major difference between Keynote and Prezi, and it's video playback. Now, on Prezi, you have all these great playback control options while you're playing a video. You can hit pause, you can hit play, you can scrub, all the things that you would expect from a normal video player. Now, Keynote on the mobile device, on the other hand, doesn't have these tools. I have no idea why, they just don't have them. You really only have the option to let the video play and then finish, or you can either start the video and then click again, and it will interrupt the video and advance to the next slide. So no pause button, no play button, no scrubbing. So if this feature is really important to you, I would stick with the Prezi. Now let's go back to the website. Now that you've had a taste of the presentation and the differences between the two, I would highly recommend that you read up on how to install and operate each version. We've created these very handy reference sheets that will help you walk through how to install and operate each type. Once you think you know which version you like, proceed to the download section to download your presentation. Now, based on popular demand, we created different versions of the presentation based on your proclivity to use video or not. Now that you have the visual for the presentation, it's time to turn to the script. Now, this is where you can download a slide-by-slide script for the entire presentation. We encourage you to really get to know this script. There's a lot of great anecdotes that we included in the script that are not necessarily on screen in the presentation. So this way you're not stuck just reading text off a screen. You can seem very knowledgeable by learning all of these anecdotes. So at the end of the day, we don't want you to just sit there with your client and read from the script. What we hope that you do is you use the script as a baseline until you're comfortable, and then you can slowly but surely make the script your own. Lastly, you always want to bring support materials with you, just in case they have additional questions, or you might want to leave something behind with the client. So we've collected all of these great collateral materials. All right, let's go back to the Q-Sys Unleashed homepage and take a look at some of the other materials. If you click on How to Demonstrate Q-Sys, you'll find a video on how to unpack and start using your Q-Sys demo rack that you ordered from QSC. In the coming weeks, we'll be adding even more guides and videos on how to use your demo rack. Which reminds me, this Q-Sys Unleashed launch page is going to be constantly updated as new support materials come online, and we'll be sending out e-blast every time we add new content to the site. Under technical documents, you'll find a lot of helpful white papers, textbooks, tutorials, and other tech-related documents. Some are more complex than others, so I suggest you take a look at all of them to see which one is right for your client. Under marketing material, you'll find a collection of Q-Sys-related catalogs, collateral, print ads, and web banners, including the latest Q-Sys catalog and the QSC full-line catalog in PDF form. Next up is the Build a Demo Kit. If you were unable to order a demo kit from QSC, or you'd just rather build one of your own, we've assembled a collection of wiring and hardware documents that should point you in the right direction. Under Sales Programs, you'll find information on QSC's Design Conversion Program, including the latest application form. If you're interested in learning more about Q-Sys installations worldwide, we've constructed this reference map to allow you to click on a region and get a list of Q-Sys installations. This map is by no means comprehensive. It's a work in progress, so as we continue to compile our lists, we'll be adding the locations to this map. Also keep in mind that some Q-Sys installations have been left off this list for reasons of confidentiality. If you're interested in getting the sales presentation or any of the videos translated into your native language, click on Request a Translation. There you'll find translation documents that have the on-screen graphics and scripts of all of these resources. Complete the translation document and send them to the email listed on the site, and we should be able to create a local version of this presentation material in about 5 to 7 days. Lastly, if you click on Videos, you'll find a video section that allows you to watch any of the videos that you found in the presentation. And If you're interested in using these videos outside of your Prezi or Keynote presentation, just click on the download button to download an HD MP4 version of that particular video. And that's about it for the tour of this Q-Sys Unleashed website.